In this episode of Contracting Conversations, we're jumping into NASA's new spacesuit, an update on 40-year-old technology to keep our explorers safe from the moon to Mars. What does it take to get boots on the lunar ground? And what's the ticket to launching industry into competition over the astronauts' new outfit? We'll learn this and more from Bradley Niese, the Acting Director of Procurement for the NASA Johnson Space Center in Houston. I'm Scott Williams, along with my co-host Jim Valley, coming to you straight from our booth at the Nexus 24 conference in Jacksonville, Florida. We're here at NCMA Nexus conference in Jacksonville, Florida. We have the pleasure of speaking with Mr. Bradley Niese. He's from NASA Johnson Space Center down in Houston, and he's the Acting Director of Procurement.
Thank you guys very much for having me. Excited to be here. Acting Director of Procurement at the Johnson Space Center, and go back a handful of years in 2022, or 2021 rather. We were working diligently to replace our NASA spacesuits. So the white spacesuits that our astronauts use to spacewalk outside of the space shuttle and the space station to do maintenance and required activities in outer space, we needed a new spacesuit. And NASA is working diligently on a Moon to Mars program, right? Returning astronauts back to the surface of the moon. So we had a real need for an exploration spacesuit. And so we went from procurement strategy development on a suit strategy to contract award in 10 months.
So that is fascinating. And the purpose for coming here is because you guys are considered a success story.
Yeah, I mean, considering the myriad of challenges we had on that procurement, I mean, it took leadership at the top, right? So we had a very strong program manager on the technical side who took ownership of it.
Yes, Jim mentioned the importance of working with the functions within the team, but as you addressed, you had two contractors that you're working with. So how important is that relationship, and what do you see some of the key tenets of that as you grow that relationship through the contract?
So collaborating with industry at the earliest stage of our strategy planning, getting feedback from them on our requirements set, what makes sense, what doesn't make sense. So we were trying to be good partners with industry to make business cases close for them while meeting our requirements. And so open collaborations was the ticket for that, to make sure when we issued that final RFP, we had a requirement set that scratched both itches.
So for all those out there, that's the end of the show today. But if you like the content, please press the like button. Please subscribe to our podcast at DAU Media or YouTube or Apple Podcasts. And we look forward to seeing you next time.